Welcome to our channel.
Hello.
If you're new here, we're Abigail and Jean, or Abby and Jay for short. We're a married couple in our 40s and 50s respectively who love adventure, vegan food, and the minimalist way of life. And we've recently experienced some major changes in our lives. In August 2022, we moved from a silo in Stellenbosch near Cape Town to a one-bed minimalist apartment in Roslyn near DC.
Cheers.
The White House, right there.
And we live here. I just can't get over that.
It's huge. As well as a big transcontinental move, we each had big career and lifestyle changes too.
My new place of work.
In these videos, we document our experiences as we learn to navigate this new chapter of our lives. Let's go looking for adventure. In this video, we're going to show you 3 day trips within about an hour's drive from Washington, DC. The catch is, we only have a car for 3 days, so although there's so much to see in the surrounding areas, we had to be extremely selective with our choices. But we really enjoyed our outings, so if you're looking for something to do within the DMV area, we hope you enjoy this video too.
Oh, we are all looking for adventure.
This week we hired a car so that I could do my driver's license test, and since the weather was bad and we had a set of wheels at our disposal for a few days, we decided to explore a little further afield from our base near DC.
So how does it feel driving again after months and months?
On the wrong side of the road, in an automatic car, in the rain, in a city I don't know the roads. It's fine, it is what it is.
You have driven a car before.
For a good 25 years we worked out. And we're trying to make the most of having some wheels. So we're heading out to see if we can get to a winery. Because being without a car, being carless, we're limited to the distance that our feet can take us, the metro can take us, and our bicycles can take us. However, we are stuck in traffic.
Afternoon traffic.
They start early in these parts apparently.
I thought just having the car now would urge me to buy a car. You know, just to say, well, this is nice, let's just buy a car. And 20 minutes of this traffic and I know I don't want to drive, I don't want a car. There be the bridge that we walk across. It just shows you how close we still are to home. We have not moved much.
Of course, eventually the traffic did start to move and we were soon on our way. Admittedly, we did take a couple of wrong turns due to my unfamiliarity with the roads and my anxiety about driving on busy roads for the first time in the USA. But it wasn't long before we found ourselves on relatively quiet, tree-lined avenues, marveling at the expansive mansions with their rolling lawns and white picket fences. Eventually the roads got narrower, the trees got denser, and we reached our intended destination. Well, we finally made it! That was an interesting drive. Fortunately the sun stays up until about 8 o'clock, so we've still got about 3 hours of sunlight. This place stays open until 7 o'clock. Yeah, we've got some time. We're not going to be here long. We're just here for the experience and the adventure.
The drive.
That was an incredible drive. It feels so awesome to be exploring further afield, and what a beautiful part of the country, so green.
It's like the world lost its green paint bucket and they dumped it.
All in Maryland. Amazing.
It is green.
Having randomly chosen this winery as our intended destination base purely on its proximity to home, combined with our Cape Townian frame of reference, our expectations weren't that high for this place. However, we were completely delighted when we began to explore the charming establishment. To come and explore.
And there we go.
They have a deli in the tasting room with all sorts of local produce, mostly meat, which didn't interest us at all. But there was also chocolate and snacks and cider and wine in the cooler. We opted for a simple tasting, which cost about $16 for their standard summer flight, or $18 for your choice of 3 wines from their by the glass options.
You're definitely going to like that white wine. I'm going to save the rest for you, because I'm driving. So this one is...
I used to love going to the wineries in the Western Cape, especially in the last year before we left South Africa, when we lived in an old grain silo in Stellenbosch. I remember once having mixed feelings about immigrating because I'd miss having access to a world-class wine region. So discovering that we've landed up in an area close to a few wineries has brought a sense of familiarity to our new reality. Though, I will admit, it does also spark some homesickness at the same time.
I am so glad that we've done this. It's a Wednesday.
Late afternoon.
Late afternoon. The sun goes down so late in the day. We've both noticed a tendency for us to err on the side of staying at home.
Well, not only that,
staying
when you lift your head off of the laptop, because you're just working, you lift your head up and it's like 6:30.
Because we've got the car now for these next couple of days, we had the choice to be able to come out and explore. And it's a rainy day, and it would have been easy for us to say, just stay at home because it's raining, and we snagged a parking right outside the apartment block. But I'm so glad that we made the effort to come out here. This is when you really realize actually it's worth the effort.
It's absolutely worth it. This was a good choice because it was just a look online for wine farm and Abigail just chose this one.
And what a way to just create a new memory and to experience something completely new.
It's closer, as Abigail said, than driving from Cape Town to Stellenbosch.
Yeah.
It's much closer.
And what a beautiful area, just greenery, thick forest. You can smell that the air is cleaner, you can hear all the bird life. It's just amazing.
But the amount of green and the deep richness and vibrance of this green.
It's amazing. They're actually really nice wines.
Spot.
What an awesome spot. Wow. I want a barn like this.
You want a barn like this? It's like first old American barn.
Yeah.
They chose, well, this was the eeny, meeny, miny, moe.
While it rained outside, we enjoyed the cozy warmth inside the barn, making this a versatile location to enjoy some good wine regardless of the weather. We'd love to return one day when it's drier outside so we can sit under the trees and soak up the serenity while sipping on something delicious. Well, now that was absolutely charming.
That was lovely indeed.
Gosh, we're definitely going to be back.
There's parts we haven't seen.
Yeah, there's some areas there that we didn't go to because it's outside and it's raining, and so hopefully next time we come here it'll be nice and sunny and warm. We are going home with a bottle of wine
and some chocolate.
I'll be saving the wine for a special occasion. Well, this is our favorite Maryland wine farm so far.
Absolutely.
Okay, now we're heading home in the rain.
I'll put the GPS on and I'll get home.
Yes.
Free as a bird in the sky, that is what you are. Breathe and you know you're alive, feel the beat of your heart.
So today we are back on the road again after a short little visit to the DMV. You can watch that video here if you want to see what that was all about. And we are now headed into Maryland again, but in the opposite direction. Where are we going, Jean?
Annapolis.
Annapolis.
are taking a walk through Annapolis. We've got an hour on the parking.
As Abigail pointed out, it's an app, so you can just
Hopefully just extend it if you...
just pay again.
Yeah.
Just have to remember where you park the car.
That's a cute street.
That's pretty cute, isn't it?
Okay, this is clearly the street.
There you go.
Dreams we're living right here and now. Don't wait for tomorrow. Live for today.
There seems to be a very big Irish influence here.
Absolutely.
I think that's about the third or fourth Irish place we've walked past. We haven't done any research, so we've got no idea about the history of Annapolis.
After a quick Google search, we can now sound very smart and share with you that Annapolis is Maryland's capital city. It's positioned on the Chesapeake Bay at the mouth of the Severn River, making it a convenient location for the United States Naval Academy.
Your shot is gonna do the things that you wanna do, yeah. 'Cause this time is the right time, baby. You're the star and this is all about you. Don't wait for tomorrow.
The aesthetics of the historic district where we're currently walking is dominated by 18th century brick houses and Maryland's State House dome. Interestingly, Annapolis was the temporary national capital of the United States in 1783 to 1784, and this is apparently where the American Revolutionary War was ended on paper.
This is so cute. Such old places.
Don't wait for tomorrow. Live for today. Just keep on chasing the sunshine. Go out and play,
Good old record shop, man.
Okay, so we're now going to head back to the car. So I tried to extend our parking, but it said that I can't. So now I don't know if it has automatically extended it or if we're now overdue on our parking and we're going to get towed. So we're late. We're going to head back there now. Jean will hurry up. Okay, crisis averted. I sorted it out. We have another hour on the clock. We paid another $4.45. I don't know if that's expensive. This is the first time we're paying for car parking. $4.45. Is that expensive per hour? Also, look at these houses. Don't they look like doll houses?
Although our parking-induced time crunch was alleviated, another type of time crunch popped up as we continued our walk through the picturesque streets.
Lovely little house, this thing. Again, that warm yellow light.
This time crunch was a stomach-induced lunchtime crunch.
We're getting ice cream.
I've been wanting ice cream for a while now.
We have.
Cheers. It's coconutty and chocolatey. My
Just the way you
favorite
like
things
it.
in the world.
We're at a place called Trop Q Pizza, and apparently they're pretty new here in Annapolis, and they're new on the Happy Cow app as well.
Which is how we always find these places. So that's already a win for the chocolate ice cream. And this is your place in Annapolis, I tell you now.
Oh, that is nice.
That was very good.
After our late lunch, we ended off our day by visiting some friends who live close by before heading back home to
Smells
DC
divine.
later that night.
How is it? Now you heard it here
Very
first. Top Q pizza for the win.
Very nice.
I know it's nothing new, but it's so good to see you. We do this every day, and I'm still so amazed by you.
After a great night of cocktails and conversation with friends, we woke up late-ish, got in the car and headed out onto the luscious green, long and winding roads somewhere in Virginia.
It's just us two, me and you.
Yep, another winery.
Got the winemaker's flight, it's got 2 whites, a rosé, and 3 reds. The first class flight is going to be 2 whites and then 4 of our bigger golden reds.
Okay, lots of options. Oh, so then why get one of each?
One of each. One of each, you got it.
Yeah?
Okay. And can I see some IDs, please?
So after providing evidence that we're both older than 21 years old, side note, that still makes me chuckle every time, we took our flights and headed out onto the covered patio, or porch as they say here. We were hoping for a lovely, relaxing outdoor wine tasting. But unfortunately,
Chardonnay. Would you recognize that as a Chardonnay?
I like that. Nice Chardonnay. Jean's description of his wine, stagnant fruity pond. That's the best description of wine notes I have ever heard.
You can be more precise than that. It's like a swimming pool that has got a little bit of water in it and it's gone green and there are frogs living in it. That's how it smells.
With fruit.
Yeah. But, and the taste. It's got very little taste. The smell is special. You can practically hear the frogs.
Also, let it just be known that I think this is the first time I've ever seen Jean do a whole wine tasting, a whole flight to himself.
it goes without saying that Jean's description of these wines is more a reflection of his inexperience than the quality of the wines. I can attest that they're actually really good wines.
That's the. They say it's dry. Tastes very sweet to me.
All right, so we have moved to finish our wine tasting because the ladies in their retirement party was getting a little bit loud. We have found our own private little deck over here, which is just amazing. These surroundings. There is some wood cutting going on over there, which you can probably hear. But how is this for a setting for wine tasting? As long as the rain stays away, it's really warm and humid today. Actually, it's like the perfect temperature to be doing this. I think we lucked out yet again. And it's not that far. It was about 45 minutes to an hour drive. What was it, 35 kilometers? So same amount of distance for the Maryland winery that you saw earlier. We also discovered that you don't need to go very far to be surrounded by forests. There's even tables in the actual forest that you can do your wine tasting there. I want to do that. On a drier day, I think we're going to have to come back so we can do that. Yeah?
I'm going to have my Nana's
Nana's
rosé.
rosé.
Strawberry, watermelon, grapefruit.
Also, look at this map. There is so much to see as far as wineries go in Virginia. John opened up this map and the first thing he says is, we're going to have to get a car.
It's been almost a year that we've exhausted this idea of city living without a car, which is for us is a novelty.
Using public transport.
And I love that novelty, or the electric bikes.
Yeah, but it does only get you so far. However, we are going to be putting it to the test. We are going to be going to Williamsburg in August via Amtrak, and we're taking our bikes on the train. You know, so we've got to test things out before we commit, I think. Okay, how did you describe that one?
There's definitely a bit of menthol, but it's more of a, I don't know, sterilized equipment that's packed fresh out of the autoclave in theatre.
It sounds delightful.
That's what it smells like when things come out, you know, after it's packaged. So there's like the steel and
Sterilized.
sterilized steel and but sterilized cotton out of the autoclave.
Maybe it was on
With a-
steel
with a-
barrels.
with a hint of menthol. But it's supposed to be raspberry, okay? Raspberry and tannins. Balanced tannins.
Balanced
Balanced
tannins.
tannins.
I hope you find that as entertaining as I do. The descriptions of these wines,
So you can only relate it to stuff that,
you know.
it reminds you of that smell. That's what it does. And it doesn't mean it's bad. Things that come out the autoclave are great.
They're clean.
They're clean. Super clean.
Just as Jean began mastering his sommelier skills, it started to rain and we had to move to a third location to complete our wine tasting.
Not getting anything yet. Getting there. Yeah, wait. It's something that... Look, when it's berries. It's berries. I think I'm finally on track.
You've calibrated.
I mean, this one is just berries. I don't get the chocolate that they mentioned.
Just manage your expectations. It is wine.
It's berries. It's well done.
We've established.
Really, it tastes like berries, like blackberries.
There you have it. Berries. We have finished our wines and now we're gonna go out and get some fresh air, walk in some nature trails, walk off this wine, have something to eat, and continue the exploration. That's nice. Hear the bees. So we have arrived at the Bull Run Winery. We're not going to partake because I think we've had our quota for the day and we still have to drive home, but we were in the area so we wanted to come check it out while we're in the neighborhood.
The Bull Run winery seems very popular, though for us it didn't have the same level of charm as the other wineries we'd visited so far. They do have some interesting artifacts from the American Civil War and they offer tours so you can sip and learn all in one outing.
Time for us to head home.
We had to return our hire car by midday the next day. But wanting to eke out every last minute of adventure, we headed to a nearby trail called Scott's Run Nature Trail. It's clearly a popular place and we were lucky to get a spot in the small parking lot. There seems to be a few different routes through the trees with lots of clear running streams. There's even a waterfall at the end of one of the trails. Scott's Run could be a day out all in itself if you pack a picnic and a blanket, or it could be a morning or afternoon activity on the way to or from somewhere else. We'll definitely come back to Scott's Run though to see that waterfall for ourselves. We hope you enjoyed this video and we hope it gave you some ideas for day trips within easy driving from Washington DC. If you've got any other day trip suggestions from the capital, please drop them in the comments for next time. Until then, if you're not yet subscribed, click that button and turn on notifications. That helps to get this content to more people looking for day trip ideas from Washington DC. Thanks for watching and keep looking for adventure. Bye.